All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be looking at section 3.2, place value of decimals. My suggestion to you would be to jot down this chart that I have created in my notes already. So pause the video if you need. And we're going to really dive into how to dissect this place value and how to write it in a form you're probably familiar with. So after you have this chart written down, we're going to add some numbers to it. I want you to write in this chart, in the correct place value, the number 21 and 726 thousandths. 21 and 726 thousandths. 2 is in my tens place. 1 and, my decimal says and, 726 thousandths. Now we're going to write and represent these decimals through expanded form. So my 2 I'm going to represent obviously as 2 times, what place value does he live in? The tens place. Perfect. Plus, my 1 lives in my ones place. How convenient. Now my decimal doesn't get represented by anything at all. The way I know the difference is because my next digit, which is in my tens place, is less than a whole number. So it is not represented with whole numbers. It is represented through a fraction. So just like I always do, I represent my digit, 7 times. But for that placeholder, I have to identify the placeholder that the 7 is living in. My 7 is living in my tenths place. So it's going to be represented as 1 over 10. Going through the line, my 2 lives in my hundredths place. And my 6 lives in my thousandths place. Now if I wanted to represent these numbers as decimals, or by their digit value, then I could do this one as 20, 1, 7 tenths, 2 hundredths, and 6 thousandths to hold those place values. Let's try another. Let's identify the number 8 and 805 thousandths. So my 8 lives in my ones place, and 805 thousandths. And I put a 0 there because I knew my 5 had to be in my thousandths place because I said 805 thousandths. Nothing's living in my tens place. If you want, you can put a 0 there. You don't have to. That one is not necessary. This one is. It'll be a completely different answer if you do not put that 0 there. going to write it in a fractional place value form. Not going to worry about this guy. My 8 is living in my ones place. So my first parenthesis, 8 times 1. Digit times place value. Digit times place value. Digit times place value. My and does get represented at all. This 8 lives in my tens place. Digit times place value. Tens place. This digit is a 0. I don't have to put anything there. If you want, you could write 0 times 1/100th, but it is not necessary, because this 5 will hold the place value of the thousandths place, and if there's nothing to live there, you have no choice but to put in a 0. And the last way we're going to do it is our decimal. Decimal holding place value. 8.8. Nothing needed. Ta-da! Pretty simple.